In this bone-chilling horror story, join us on a harrowing journey to Raven's Peak, a treacherous mountain shrouded in darkness and ancient curses. Nestled in the heart of the rugged mountain range stood Raven's Peak, a place whispered about in fearful tones by the locals. Its towering cliffs and dense forests held an air of mystery, shrouding the mountain in an eerie silence. Legends told of dark spirits and ancient curses that plagued the land, warning all who dared venture there. It was on a moonlit night that a group of thrill-seekers, drawn by the tales of Raven's Peak, decided to unravel its secrets. Adam, a fearless adventurer, led the way, his curiosity outweighing any apprehension he felt. He was joined by Emily, a brave and inquisitive photographer, and Jason, a skeptical but intrigued writer, known for his love of the macabre. Equipped with cameras, recording equipment, and a sense of foreboding, the trio embarked on their perilous journey. As they ascended the treacherous path, a bone-chilling wind howled through the jagged rocks, causing them to shiver with unease. Shadows danced across the moonlit landscape, heightening their sense of dread. After hours of climbing, they reached a desolate plateau adorned with ancient ruins. Moss-covered stones and crumbling pillars spoke of a forgotten civilization that once thrived there. Jason's eyes gleamed with excitement as he began exploring, his pen poised to capture the dark allure of the mountain. Unbeknownst to them, an unseen presence watched from the shadows. The mountain had a sinister energy, a malevolence that pulsed through the air like a silent scream. As the night wore on, strange phenomena began to unfold. Whispers echoed in the wind, their words a haunting chorus. Shadows elongated and contorted, taking on monstrous forms that seemed to move with a purpose of their own. Emily's camera captured distorted images, the faces of the forgotten staring back at her from within the photographs. Desperate cries and agonized moans filled the air, driving Adam, Emily, and Jason to the edge of sanity. Their senses became muddled, reality blurring with nightmare. In the heart of the ruins, they discovered a forbidden chamber, hidden beneath layers of ancient dust. Intricate symbols adorned the walls, etched with a dark magic that permeated the very essence of the room. Adam, fueled by curiosity and a tinge of madness, traced his fingers over the symbols, awakening an ancient force that hungered for souls. From the depths of the mountain, a surge of malevolent energy erupted. The walls trembled, and the ground beneath them quaked violently. The three adventurers were trapped, their screams of terror swallowed by the cacophony of chaos that surrounded them. Time lost all meaning as the mountain unleashed its wrath upon the intruders. Hallucinations twisted their perception, making them question their own sanity. Shadows clawed at their souls, whispering promises of eternal darkness. And in the midst of the nightmare, Adam, Emily, and Jason realized they had awakened a curse that had long slumbered, a curse that hungered for their very lives. Days turned into nights, and nights bled into days as the trio fought desperately to escape Raven's Peak. Their bodies weakened, their spirits shattered, they were on the brink of surrender. But in one final act of defiance, they mustered the last remnants of their strength and made a mad dash toward the mountain's edge. Gasping for breath and covered in scratches, they stumbled out onto the other side, their bodies battered but their souls intact. As they looked back, Raven's Peak loomed ominously, a silent testament to the horrors they had endured. They vowed never to return, to keep their secrets buried within the mountain's depths. Years passed, and Adam, Emily, and Jason tried to move on from the harrowing ordeal at Raven's Peak. They drifted apart, their lives forever marked by the terrors they had faced. Each of them carried the weight of the mountain's curse, haunted by nightmares and plagued by a deep sense of unease. Adam, once a daring explorer, became a recluse, his once adventurous spirit extinguished. He He rarely left the safety of his home, fearing that the darkness of Raven's Peak would find him once again. Emily, a once vibrant photographer, could no longer bear to look through the lens of her camera. The images she captured were tainted, the faces of the forgotten still lingering, tormenting her from within. And Jason, the writer who reveled in the macabre, could no longer put pen to paper. The horrors he had witnessed had silenced his once prolific voice. But despite their attempts to escape, the mountain's curse was not easily shaken off. Strange occurrences followed them, reminding them that they could never truly be free. Shadows flickered at the corner of their vision. Whispers brushed against their ears in the dead of night, and an unshakable feeling of being watched hung heavy in the air. In their darkest moments, Adam, Emily, and Jason couldn't help but wonder if they had left a piece of themselves behind on Raven's Peak. It seemed as though the mountain had claimed a part of their souls, forever tethering them to its malevolence. They knew that their only hope of finding peace lay in confronting the curse head-on. Gathering their courage, they reunited, driven by a shared determination to break free from Raven's Peak's grasp. Armed with newfound resolve and a collective strength, they embarked on a treacherous journey back to the mountain that had once consumed them. As they ascended the familiar path, the mountain seemed to welcome them with open arms, its dark presence looming ever larger. But this time, they refused to be consumed by fear. They delved deeper into the heart of the ruins, retracing their steps, and eventually, they found themselves standing before the forbidden chamber that had sealed their fate. Adam, his hand steady and resolute, traced the ancient symbols once again. But this time, he chanted words of liberation, releasing a counterforce to the curse that had plagued them for so long. The room trembled, and the symbols crumbled, their dark magic dissipating into the ether. A blinding light filled the chamber, banishing the shadows and purging the malevolence that had once thrived there. The curse had been broken, and as the light faded, Adam, Emily, and Jason felt a weight lifted from their souls. They had finally severed the ties that bound them to Raven's Peak. With a newfound freedom and a renewed sense of purpose, the trio descended the mountain, leaving behind the ruins and the horrors that had haunted them. They vowed to honor the memory of those who had perished on Raven's Peak by living their lives to the fullest, cherishing every moment of light in the face of darkness. Raven's Peak stood as a silent testament to their resilience, a reminder of the horrors they had endured and conquered. The legends would live on, whispered among locals and thrill-seekers alike, but Adam, Emily, and Jason had found their own tale of redemption within the depths of that haunted mountain, and they carried it with them, a beacon of hope, as they ventured forth into a future no longer overshadowed by the chilling specter of Raven's Peak. Years turned into decades, and the memory of Raven's Peak began to fade into the realm of folklore and distant nightmares. Adam, Emily, and Jason found solace in their newfound freedom, embracing lives filled with love, laughter, and purpose. They had rebuilt themselves, drawing strength from their shared past and the unbreakable bond forged through their harrowing experiences. As time passed, they became renowned for their resilience, their stories spreading far and wide. People sought them out, hoping to hear first-hand accounts of the cursed mountain and the triumph of their spirits over darkness. Adam, Emily, and Jason became mentors, guiding others who found themselves entangled in the web of fear and despair, reminding them that there was always a glimmer of hope, even in the bleakest of circumstances. Inspired by their own journey, they founded the Raven's Peak Foundation, a sanctuary for those haunted by their own personal demons, a refuge for those tormented by the shadows that lurked within. The foundation became a beacon of light, offering counseling, support, and a sense of belonging to those who had lost their way. It stood as a testament to the power of resilience and the triumph of the human spirit. But even as Adam, Emily, and Jason dedicated themselves to helping others, they never forgot the price they had paid. The mountain's curse had left an indelible mark on their lives, and the scars it had inflicted served as a constant reminder of the fragility of their newfound peace. They knew that the darkness could never truly be banished, only kept at bay through unwavering vigilance. And so they made a pact, vowing to return to Raven's Peak at regular intervals. They climbed its treacherous paths, not out of morbid fascination, but to pay homage to the spirits that still lingered there. They left offerings of remembrance, whispering words of gratitude and hope into the wind, a gesture of respect to the forces that had once held them captive. With each visit, they discovered that Raven's Peak had transformed. Its once foreboding presence had softened, the malevolence diminished. Nature had reclaimed the ruins, turning them into a testament to the enduring cycle of life and rebirth. It became a place of reflection, where the trio could find solace in the knowledge that their own darkness had birthed light. As they stood on the peak, gazing out at the breathtaking vista below, Adam, Emily, and Jason felt a profound sense of closure. They had come full circle, having faced the horrors of the mountain and emerged on the other side, not unscathed, but stronger than ever before. Their story had become intertwined with the very fabric of Raven's Peak, a tale of resilience and redemption whispered among the mountaintops. And so, they left Raven's Peak one last time, their hearts at peace, knowing that their journey had come to an end. They carried the mountain within them, a reminder of their own strength and the transformative power of overcoming fear. They would forever be bound to Raven's Peak, but they had also become its guardians, protectors of the stories and the souls entwined with its history. As they walked away, the echoes of their footsteps slowly faded into the wind, and the mountain watched silently, knowing that it had been forever changed by their presence. Raven's Peak had become more than just a haunting place. It had become a testament to the human spirit's capacity for resilience, a beacon of hope in the face of darkness, an enduring reminder that even in the most terrifying of circumstances, there is always a glimmer of light waiting to be found.